Hello guys, we meet again. So I thought I was done with the P-Lane, but the P-Lane was not done with me apparently. So here I am again. I had it all boxed up and ready, actually had already scheduled a FedEx pickup for the next morning to return it. And Heritage reached out via email and said they thought they had something I could try that would make it closer to what I was looking for. And then I had the pleasure of speaking with Peter from Heritage Audio via FaceTime the next day. And he gave me a very simple idea to try, which I'm going to explain and show you pictures and everything in detail in case it's something you want to do a little bit later in this video. But real quick, I want to show you the vocal example again. So this is going to be the Chandler, the BG2, the Powerstrip, and the P-Lane in no particular order. And this, keep in mind that everything you hear in this video now is going to be the new modified P-Lane. All right, we're just going to listen to the first line of the vocal, cycle through each one, and we're going to do it blind this time.
When I see a problem, I run. When I see a problem, I run. When I see a problem, I run. When I see a problem, I run.
So with the stock P-Lane, I had no trouble picking out where it was in each example because it was so noticeably cleaner. I would say that's harder to do now, in my opinion, with the modified P-Lane. All right, I'll stop for 1 second, pause the video, go leave a comment, and guess which one was the P-Lane. I'm going to type in what was what here. All right, so were you surprised? I definitely have been. So you and I have invested a lot of time in this week. You guys have spent a lot of time watching, and I've definitely spent a lot of time making this stuff, commenting on the forums, commenting on the YouTube video. So I don't want to keep you much longer on this, but I do want to show you now the drum example and see where the modified P-Lane stacks up in that area. All right, what do you think if you had to pick the P-Lane out there? Now remember, in the original stock version, this was where it stood out the most. So let me fill in again the answer key for you here. All right, so quickly, I want to solo the P-Lane, and like in the part 2 video where I kind of showed the range of what it could do, I want to give you an updated look at that. So let's start with something more subtle. We're gonna go down to DC threshold 1. So this is the great part about it being modified is I can still do subtle. Like watch how very little gain reduction you can do if that's what you want. All right, so at 7 on the input now, we are well beyond what was capable with the input all the way up at 10 before. And this is what I was talking about. Now, with it all the way up, it's way more than what I would want. And now I have the ability to attenuate the input back within a wide range. So now the other thing is, before in part 2, you remember as I up the DC threshold, your gain reduction went down, so you needed even more input. But watch now. So we're all the way up at 6. So no problem, all the way up at DC threshold 6, which is the most aggressive, getting into limiting territory. We have all the gain on hand that we would need to pick anything between all the attack and release times now, as well as anywhere between DC threshold 1 to 6. So what is the mod? Is it expensive? Is it hard to do? I'm so thrilled to be able to tell you that if you have a Phillips head screwdriver, 3 to 5 minutes, some little wire cutters, this is probably going to be the easiest free mod that you've ever done that's going to turn this thing into a beast, in my opinion. So if you have a P.Lane and you like what you hear in this video better than what you heard in part 1 and part 2, then it's very simple. I will post some pictures here on screen. So what you're looking for is R19. I will actually post a picture that was sent to me because you can see better, I'm sure, than I can even show you with video here. And you're going to want to just snip one side. Now keep in mind, if you want to undo this, you're going to have some soldering skills or have someone available that can help you with that. So it's an easy mod and an easy reverse if you have some soldering skills. All right, so we're looking at, see if I can point right in there, that little guy, R19. But basically, there is a pad on the input, so I wasn't crazy, right? When I was having a hard time getting the kind of gain that I wanted into this, there simply is a pad, and if you will just snip one of the wires on one side of this little resistor here, leave the other side intact. This is following exactly what Heritage told me to do, and I asked them permission if it would be okay if I pass this information along. You just snip that one side, put the lid back on, you're good to go. Now, with anything electronic, of course, unplug it, and if you're not comfortable doing anything like this, you could always get a friend or if you have a local tech to help you, this would be the easiest job they've probably ever been hired to do. Now keep in mind, if you would like to revert, if you have a little bit of soldering skills, you could always undo this. But to me, now I have a piece of gear not only that I'm going to keep, but that I can put right in with these big boys that are much more expensive. Now, does it sound the same? No. The tubes are different. And interestingly enough, with all of these models that I use, there's a little bit different tube choices. The only one that sticks to the original EMI schematic is Chandler. Anywhere from subtle gain reduction now all the way to pushing this thing to extreme settings, I hear that color now. I hear that familiar squeeze and hug that I love. So I want to thank Heritage for being so cool about this from the beginning. I know when people put out content like this, you're probably not excited to watch it, but I think they were able to hear my heart behind it, that I really was genuinely wanting this to work. And so thank you, Heritage. Thank you, Peter, for reaching out, for giving me a very simple, very easy thing to try. And it has completely transformed this into a whole different compressor, in my opinion. But this is amazing. This is so much easier than I would have imagined. If I could humbly offer up my 2 cents to Heritage, I think it'd be great moving forward at some point if you had this on a switch. So not only so it'd be easier on people that buy it, they wouldn't have to open it up and do anything. and then maybe the stock version is tracking mode and the modified version would be mixed mode or something along those lines. Just an idea, because I think there are people that still are looking for something clean that maybe haven't connected with the RS124 sound the way I have. But for me, what it is now is just a complete different animal. And if it would have sounded like this out of the box, those first two videos would have never even existed. So anyway, guys, I hope you have found all of this helpful and useful. This has been a whirlwind of a week. Again, thank you to Heritage. I felt their response to this is what you would hope for a manufacturer, because, you know, constructive criticism is never easy for any of us. And I truly appreciate them listening and reaching out and not only hearing what I had to say, but offering an easy, free solution. So, all right, guys, that's it. If you want to mod your P.Lane, good luck. I hope it turns into the same kind of monster that I think I have here now. And I hope you truly enjoy it. All right, thank you, guys. It's been fun. Who knows what the next adventure will be, but I hope you'll subscribe and I'll see you again soon. Take care.